Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for Yoga in Our City's virtual studio for Chair Yoga. I'm Anne, and I'm so happy that you all joined me this evening in this session for Chair Yoga. And this is going to be a very interesting session for all of you. And I'll explain in a minute what we're going to be doing. So, please consult a medical practitioner if you have any concerns, but it's very important to consult a medical practitioner before you engage in any exercise, even yoga, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, taking medication, or have a pre-existing condition. So this session I'm very excited about because it's going to hone in or focus on 6 muscle groups in the body that are directly related to balance and also risks of avoiding falls. So what it is, it's a very supportive practice because we're going to look at the 6 large muscle groups of the body and its correlation or relationship to different activities that we may perform during the day, especially the functional activities. So I will start discussing the 6 muscle groups, but later on after we're finished with the pranayama. And I will explain each of the muscle groups one by one. So let's begin and talk a little bit about props. So this evening, I have a few different props. So as always have the blocks. Now, some of you may prefer to use 3 blocks instead of 2, or maybe 1 block, okay? Whatever floats your boat. And then, of course, the blanket. And the blanket serves purposes such as keeps us warm during the cool down at the end or meditation or relaxation. And I have my special blanket. This was my mom's. And in addition, we can also use this in the back of the chair if you prefer to have something behind you that would still give you opportunity to not sink back, because we want to be in our sitting mountain pose, which is an active, engaged sitting posture. We're utilizing again and strengthening the muscles in our body in sitting mountain, especially our lower body. Now, if you prefer to use a block behind you, that is okay too. Okay, the block does serve a purpose, and you could either put it horizontally or you could put it vertically. Okay, and that feels pretty good. I like that. All righty, so that's that. Now, today I'm introducing the ThermaBand. Now, this is different from what we used in the previous sessions. We do have yoga straps that many people use, but they're not connected like this, even though we could take a belt and connect it, buckle it up. But we're going to use this, and I'm going to show you how this engages the muscles. We could use it our upper body, our lower body, etc. But I like it because it really becomes, again, an active engagement of the muscles, which build strength and also are able to support the bones or the skeletal system that supports our structure. Now, in addition, today I have an ottoman here, and I'm only going to use it to show you one of the movements in the large muscle groups. And some of you may even find a place that you'd like to use this. Instead of another chair in front, I decided to use the ottoman since it's shorter and you'll be able to see it. But I'll be introducing soon, maybe in a few sessions, using 2 chairs instead of just 1. So there's different ways we can utilize the 2 chairs versus the 1. Okay, so now to begin, those are the props. And now we're going to move into our foundational pose, which is sitting mountain. So again, I'm going to invite you to scoot your butt a little bit closer to the edge of the chair, not where you're falling over, okay? So again, safety is our key, is our number one priority here. We want to keep safe, and we still want to feel very secure in our chair. And as we've gone through before, the chair, we want strong, solid legs. And also, it's a great idea to always have the chair not on the floor, but on the mat if you have a mat. So we're going to take the right hand and move the fleshy part of our right buttocks. You could feel a bony part on the right and doing the same to the left. So we have 2 sit bones. And when we rock back and forth, these sit bones help us to, again, sit aligned and to be in a very active posture or sitting pose. Now we're going to begin with the soles of the feet that are secure on the mat or the floor in front of us. And I'm going to take off my socks so you could see the areas of the feet that I'm talking about. Okay, so number 1, we have cushions in our feet very comfortably right here under the toes. There's a cushiony part. So one of the points right below the little pinky toe and then right near the big toe here. Those are the cushiony parts. Also, the heel. The heel is another area. So these are the points that we want to sink our feet into those cushiony parts. And what you can do is kind of rock the feet, sole or heel toe, just to make sure that that's firmly on the ground. Remember, this is our foundation, very similar to a tree, okay? The roots are the foundation of that tree. So just in case it's windy or there's a weather issue, that tree remains solid, just like we do in the sitting mountain pose. Now, moving up the body, we're going to take our hands, fists together, knuckles facing up to the ceiling, and we're going to ride them between our thighs, all the way up to the fleshy part of the thighs. And when we move our hands there, it takes the pelvis and it lines it perfectly. Perfect opportunity to have the pelvis and the hips just kind of sitting on the perfect spot. Then after that, we're going to take our finger and place it right next to the thumb, and we're going to bring it right below our belly button, and we're going to zip up the front of the body and then back down the back. And now after this, we're going to take our fist again, where the pinky is, we're going to turn that and we're going to put it under our chin, or you could take your finger and put it right in the middle of your chin and just push it back so the chin is again parallel to the floor. Again, we want no hyperextension in the neck. So therefore, if I was to raise my eyes up to that point or drishti, I want to go no higher than where the wall meets the ceiling. Now moving up, we're going to take our shoulders and we're going to bring the shoulders forward up to the ears and back. So again, our shoulder blades, you can feel them kissing each other. This opens our chest. We're leading with the heart. And when the chest is open, our lungs expand and contract, so our breath can flow beautifully through our physical body. nourishing every cell, every tissue in our body. Now, after that, we're going to take our finger again and zip up and just reset our body in the sitting mountain. Be sure we are sitting up, 90-degree angle. So our lower body is here, coming across, and then our upper torso. So perfect 90, 90, and 90. That's what we're striving for. Active engagement of the muscles. So this is an active sitting posture. So sitting is fine when we're in sitting mountain. What we choose to avoid is slumping over like this, coming forward, or as we say, flexing. And also to kind of lie back. If we're in relaxation and we're lying back, that's one thing. But when we're sitting, we want to be actively engaged. We want to keep foremost our postural alignment. Very important. As we sit here in sitting mountain and we feel the engagement of the muscles, we are strengthening again the certain muscle groups of the body. Now, anytime during the session or practice this evening, whenever maybe you need a break from doing one of the movements, you just come right back and reset yourself into sitting mountain and try to relax your upper body. Just relax it so the breath can flow perfectly through your body, nice and relaxed and full. Now, this is our foundational pose, and now we're going to move into our intention for the session tonight. I will say it, and you can join in with me. So I'll say it once, and then I'll repeat 3 times. Our intention this evening is, I will be mindful of strengthening and balancing throughout this session. I will be mindful of strengthening and balancing throughout this session. I will be mindful of strengthening and balancing throughout this session. And the third, I will be mindful of strengthening and balancing throughout this session. And just take a full breath before we move into pranayama or breathing. And last week, we did one of the breaths, which was more awareness of our breath. It's extremely important. We need to be aware or mindful of our breathing. Very important, most important function in our body is our breath, our life, our prana, our energy, our source. So we're going to start with, again, the awareness, and I'm going to walk you through a very easy, but you have to pay attention to the words of what I'm asking you to do with your breath. So you're mindful of your breathing. And then we'll move into the second breath, which will be called the victorious breath. So again, let's reset, come back into sitting mountain. Love to play with those sitting bones. And if you need to move any part of the body because you're beginning to feel stiff, let's shake out the hands. Okay, and let's just kind of move a little bit from side to side or front to back. Now we want flex and extend. Let's do that 3 times. Flex and extend and flex and extend. Great. All righty, so let's begin. So I invite you to close your eyes and simply breathe. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out through your nose. Now, as you inhale, just notice the expansion of your chest. Your lungs are inflating. And then as you exhale, the contraction of the chest. Inhale, lungs expanding, and exhale, contracting. Now bringing the awareness to the breath. What is the quality of your breath? Is it full? Is it wholesome? Is it smooth? What is the length of your breath? Notice your inhalation. What is the length? And as you exhale, notice the length of the exhalation. Notice again, is my breath full? Is my breath smooth? When you inhale through the nose, you want it full. And keep it going even when you think you have no more inhalation left. Just inhale a little farther. And now exhale. And again, when you think there's no more exhalation, blow the air out through the nose or the mouth. Extend the exhalation. And let's try that. We'll do 3 breaths. Try to take the inhalation, extend it just a little bit, and with the exhalation the same. Get all the toxic air out of the body. So let's do that 3 times. Inhale. Lungs filling up. Inhale a little bit farther. And full exhalation. Chest deflates. Think there's no more? There is. Blow it out. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. When you think you're right at the top, inhale a little bit more. And then on the exhalation, blow all the air out. You think there's no more? A little bit farther. And again, inhale. Inhale just a little bit farther. Now, full exhalation. And blow it out completely. Get all the residual air out. And relax. I notice when I do the exhalation, I almost stop and do it again and again in the exhalation to get all that residual air out. Because it may not just be a smooth exhalation with the residual air. You may just try that if it's easier for you. For me, it's easier. So now next, we're going to do the victorious breath. Now, this breath, there's different ways to do the victorious breath. But we're going to do an even count of the inhalation and the exhalation. We will not be holding. Some Victoria breaths, they inhale and then they hold and then they exhale. And sometimes the count changes. So it may be inhale 3, hold 4, exhale 5, whatever it is. But we're going to keep it simple. Now, the victorious breath is noted as a calming breath. So that's what we're going to focus on, a beautiful, calm breath. And notice how you feel when we're complete with the victorious breath. We will breathe. Again, I will do the counting and we'll do a count of 4. If you can go a little bit longer, like 5, and then exhale for 5, or maybe you can do 3 inhalations for a count of 3 and 3 exhalations, count of 3. So wherever you're at in your breathing, that's perfectly fine. So I will say it out loud, the numbers, and then we're going to do 10 total rounds. So when we get to the 3rd round, I'm not going to talk on the 4th. So you can just be very aware of your breath. Ready? So let's again find that comfortable place in sitting mountain. If you feel like you want to move back just slightly from the edge of the chair, please feel free. And you can place your hands either comfortably by the sides of the body. You can keep them on your lap. You can also place your palms facing up to the ceiling, which I find very comfortable. Or you could take the right hand, place it on the belly, and the left on your heart center. And then close your eyes. Shoulders back, open the chest. And let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now continue on your own. And now let's meet. If you're complete, you can relax your hands, or you may be having a few more breaths. You can open your eyes and notice again how you feel. This is the victorious breath. It's calming. The left and the right side of the brain are united, working together as a whole. All right. Now let's open our eyes. And again, you may want to reset into position. And we're going to start with warm-ups. And this evening, I would like to mention, again, the sitting mountain. So this sitting mountain is a definite postural alignment because 90 degrees, 90, and 90. And again, the engagement of strengthening the muscles. And of course, those are supporting the skeletal muscles of the body, which again, helps us in our balance and also in our strength. So let's begin just by rubbing the hands together. getting some circulation in the fingers. And you may want to open, close, or you may want to do this. Like, I always think of Donald Duck when I do this. Then intertwine the fingers, and let's make rolls with the wrists, and then reverse. And do just a few. And then we're going to do circles again at the hips. Now, if you take a quick inventory of your body, if you feel a little stiff in the lower back, like I do, you can take your hands and place them on the lower back and just rub. So what I'm doing, if you don't see me, is just rubbing this area here. It's a sensitive spot for me. And you can also kind of thump it, okay? Get that circulation moving there. All righty. And then we're going to come back into sitting. And we're going to take the shoulders, just shake them out. Let's make little shoulder rolls, small little circles, and then larger circles, opening, moving. Notice the interconnection of body parts, and then reverse. All right. Now for the first one, we're going to engage the muscles of the arms. Okay, so for this engagement, I'm also going to show you different levels. We're going to do 3 levels like we have done in the previous session. So wherever you are, remember this yoga is for everybody, no matter where you are in your range of motion and your flexibility. Okay, whether you have your legs and your arms that are working or maybe not, who knows. And this is for, again, everyone, whether you're in a wheelchair or bedridden, etc., you can still do these, okay? So whatever we do on the mat, we can transfer onto the chair, and that's beautiful. The other area is that sometimes we forget that visualization is very powerful in the mind's eye. They've done studies and it has been proven. So if we visualize a part of our body that maybe, let's say my left arm, I don't have that, or I have a prosthetics, I can begin to visualize the movement there, okay? And it's effective. Okay, so let's take the hands. Now, if we're in level 1, we're going to take our hands and just let them come by the sides of the body. And we're going to move, and we're going to just come forward, just slightly, and then back. And then again, and back, and then again. Now, if you're in level 2, you may be here, you may feel your ribs, or you may prefer just to relax the hands, the full palm on the rib cage. And again, same thing, we're going to move. And then if we're in level 3, we're going to take the hands, extend them out, palms facing parallel to the floor. And now we're going to move the hands so the palms are facing forward up to the ceiling. So we're rotating again. And we're going to come forward as we do this. Again, we're using and engaging the left side of the body and the right, which again helps in our cognitive acuteness. Now, we're going to take the right leg, just stretch it out and back, and the left. Just do this 3 times before we begin our asanas. We're going to focus again on the 6 muscle groups that support our balance and our strength. All righty, and let's get ready for this. So again, find that comfortable spot in sitting mountain, engaging the sits bones. And we're going to start with the first muscle group. So I'm going to go through each of them completely. So I'll start with the muscle group. So this is called the neck extensors. Then I'll explain to you, what is this for? The neck extensors are to support the head and also for stability. Those are only two of the functions of the neck extensors. And they're back here in the back of the neck, coming from the skull, the base of the skull, downwards. Now, moving into the neck extensors and knowing that they have to do with stability and supporting the head, we have two movements I'm going to show you. We could call them asanas, or we could just call them exercises or postural alignments. But if you do these, it will definitely strengthen the muscles in the neck and also the upper back. Now, I have a tendency if I lift any weights, I tend to tighten right around my shoulders here. And as a result of that, because it's interconnected to my neck extensors, I tighten those up, which is really a no-no. That's one of the reasons I have sensitivity in my neck, plus I have arthritis in the neck. However, I can still do it. Most important, though, is we want no pain, because it's true, the pain, forget it. Once that happened to me and I couldn't move my neck because I extended too much. So again, we must be mindful of our physical body and also realize that we must be gentle with ourselves. So today, we're only going to do 3 of the first movements, only 3. Now, as you progress, if you decide that you're going to do this every day, maybe at the end of a few weeks, you may be ready to do 4, but the natural wisdom of your body will let you know how many will be okay to do, because we never want any ouches in yoga. This is the thing. Yoga is a beautiful movement of grace and movement, exercising and moving all parts of the body, the skeletal muscles, the bones, our alignment, our breath, everything is connected. So body, mind, and spirit. So the first one is called double chin tuck. So what I'm going to do is press down. We're going to do this 3 times. Bring the chin to the top, push back. We'll do 1, hold it for a minute, and release. 2, double chin, and release. And the third, double chin, bring the chin down, squeeze in. You could feel the shoulders coming back as we do this. And that's the first one. Now, with the neck, sometimes you've probably seen people with lordosis, where they have a large hump on their back, or they're always coming forward. They're always in flexion. They're not in extension. So these movements help to strengthen the neck extensors. So we're going to have stronger neck muscles to support our head and stability. So we want to be very aware of our forward movements, because many of us, we read, but we don't read at eye level. I have a stand right now that I use for my computer, so I'm looking straight ahead. Sometimes when people walk, they walk forward like this because maybe their head is heavy. And part of the reason why is because the neck extensors are not strong enough to support the head, which is 10 to 12 pounds. Also, it's stated that for every inch that you come forward in flexion, adds another 10 pounds to the weight of your neck. So that means if you go 2 inches forward beyond where you're supposed to be for perfect postural alignment, you're already at 10, 20, 30 pounds you're carrying around. That sounds heavy. That's like, whoa, I'm thinking of a bowling ball right now. So that's a lot of strain. So that's why we want to be very aware of our neck extensors, which do again have to do with stability and balance. Now, the next one for the neck extensors is we're going to come back on the chair. This is only one. There's many more movements, but today we're only going to focus on 2 with each of the muscle groups. Now, you're going to push your head into the chair, or I have a wall behind me, so I'm going to push it. 1, and I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. I was also thinking, going back to last week's session, we did a movement last week, which also does help to strengthen the neck extensors, which is we take our hands, palms if we can, and place them at the top of our head, intertwine our fingers together, and push down the palms on the top of our head and push up like we're going against the palms of the hands. And again, that is strengthening the muscles in the neck. And relax. We'll do this 3 times. Again, inhale, push, and relax. And one more time. Inhale, and relax. Beautiful. So that was the first group of the muscles, supporting the balance and strengthening. Now, the next group is called the back extensors. Now, the back extensors, as we know, supports our trunk. Very important, again, the back extensors in our walking, our standing, of course, our balance. And the back extensors are important to strengthen. That back extensor also has to do with the neck because it's all intertwined. Now, for this, depending upon what level you're at, I'm going to right now use the ottoman. Now, this is if you're in level 1, okay? So we're going to do what we call a swan dive. So if you're in level 1, maybe you want to rest your legs on top of the ottoman or a chair, whatever you have. And for level 1, you're simply going to kind of stretch the arms out and come forward into a swan dive. Maybe this is all you can come down, and that's perfect. And come back. Now we're going to connect our breath with the movement. Let's do 2. This is level 1. And then 3. And feel the back, the extensors stretching. We're strengthening and elongating the back muscles. Now, you may be at level 2, which could mean that your hands can come a little bit farther up and you're going to move down into the swan dive. And then slowly come back up. And again, we'll do 3 times. Now, as you move along in this, you may want to hang out here for a while and just kind of stretch. Now, remember with the inhalation, with the exhalation, you're going to try to come a little bit forward into the swan dive. With each exhalation, we can come a little bit farther into the stretch and then back. Now, I'm going to show you level 3, which is the complete swan dive. Okay, so I'm going to sit in my chair and I'm going to inhale and I'm going to come right over my legs and put the palms or my fingers on the floor in front of me, and then come back. And again, number 2, exhale, coming down. And then we'll do one more swan. And then 3, nice full swan dive. Beautiful. And just hang out here and relax. Feel the extension, the elongation of the back extensors. And then slowly walk the fingers up the legs. Beautiful. Now again, you may come back and sit into your sitting mountain, or you may just need to move and stretch a little bit from side to side. So I'm going to have my tea. And I did mention some of you maybe have hot water or something to drink next to you, and that's fine. If you need a sip, you just take care of yourself, because we love ourselves. First, we must take care of ourselves, or we can take care of anybody else. Now, next we're going to do the second exercise I'm going to show you for the back extensors. Now, this we're going to call a baby back bend. And baby means we just move slightly. So we're going to inhale and slightly move back. It's almost like when we do the cat-cow, we come forward, but this time we're only going to do the extending back. We'll do 2, and then one more, 3. And you could feel, again, the elongation of the back muscles. We're not going to go into flexion, only extension. Bring those shoulders back and relax. So far, we did neck extensors, and that was back extensors. Now we're going to move into the next one, which is our hip extensors. Now, the hip extensors consist of the gluteus, and I'm going to use the gluteus max, even though we know there's the minimus and the midus, but we're only going to talk about right now the glute max and the hamstrings. Now, the hamstrings are this area right behind the leg, right? Those are our hamstrings. And they have to do with balance and walking, the hip extensors. So there's a couple of different movements here. One of the best one to use is the chair or Utkatasana. It's extremely good for this area, our glutes and our hamstrings. Now, if you could come a little bit closer to the edge of the chair, and maybe you're not able to get up off the chair, that's fine. Just take the hands comfortably on the sides of the chair, and you may have to have strong upper body muscles for this, but Then again, just raise the body up slightly, like 1/100th of an inch. My buttocks is still touching the chair, but I'm not pushing my whole body up. So that would be 1, and this would be level 1. And then you can do it again. And then 3, inhale. Now the next one, maybe you can come a little bit farther on the edge of the chair, and you can raise the body up again, maybe another inch. Feel the strength here in the thighs and also the hips. Now maybe you can come completely off the chair, which will move into the chair pose or Utkatasana, arms coming out. And again, you can feel the movement. You're strengthening the hamstrings and also the hip extensors. And breathe. And then we can do that 2 more times. Come up. Now use your breath. Now you're using your core too, breathing. Inhale and then exhale. That's number 2. And we'll do 1 more. Okay? So here we go. Coming up. So the hip extensors have to do with balance, walking, and then come back down. Now, we've did this, I believe, in the 2nd or 3rd session. But now, if you're able, you're going to take the right foot, and you may be on level 1, so you maybe only come here, okay? Level 2, and then level 3 for the hip extensor is you're going to bring the foot up to the thigh of the left leg. And you can feel the hip extensors extending, and that's bringing blood flow to that area. And also, it's helping with synovial fluid. So those hip joints stay lubricated. And you want to breathe into it. Now, sometimes people will do the hip extensors and they'll just come forward a little bit more over that leg. Let's do that 3 times. Now, can also, let's say we're on level 1. Well, first let me do the other side. So now we're going to take the left leg, take the foot. Now you may only be here, but then again, you may be here, level 1, or you may be on level 2, crossing the feet over. Okay, and you could feel, again, that flexion right here through the side body where the hip is, and the glutes. You can feel the glute right there. And then you're going to take that leg and bring it as close as you can with no ouches. Be sure you're aligned on the chair. Those sits bones are comfortable on the chair. And then the same thing here. Now you're going to, if you can, inhale and exhale, come a little bit farther over that left bended leg. And again, do this 3 times. You can feel the movement of the hip extensor. Think of balance and walking, the importance of these. And then back down. Now, there is another one which is quite easy to do. You'll probably have no problems doing this, but you can just lift the right leg and make like circles so you can feel again the movement of the hamstrings and the hips, and then you may want to reverse it. Feel the movement, and then the opposite leg. and then reverse. Great. Now, the next one, the next large muscle group is the quadriceps. Now, this is the only muscle groups that's in the front of the body. All the others, neck extensors, the hip extensors, the back extensors, and the last two I'm going to show you, they're all in our back body. Okay? So with the back body, if you think about it, you're going against gravity. We don't want to push forward and be in flex mode. We want to be against gravity. So that's why the postural alignment is so important. And again, strengthening the muscles in the body and the bones, everything else, so we can have that strong frame. And we can learn that if we fall, nothing hopefully will happen. We won't fracture anything. We won't break anything, because we will also learn how to fall. Okay, so now the quadriceps, this is the front thigh all the way to the knee joint. Now, one of the ones we're going to do is leg raises. So we're going to lift the leg. We'll do it 3 times each side. And then I'm going to show you the leg raises that maybe you want to use the chair or the ottoman. Because what we would do is, I'm going a little too fast. We want to do these mindfully and slowly. And we want to tighten or engage the muscles on the front thigh. So here we go. Let's bring the legs. Okay. Now again, we're going to engage the muscles, and you may want to hold on to the side of the chair and raise it. You want to hold it, and you could feel the muscle in that quad. Beautiful. And down. And then again, 2. Yeah, I find it's more engaging of my muscles when I have my leg raised on an ottoman or a chair, and then back down. Now we'll do the opposite leg. 1, 2, hold it, engage it, and then 3. Beautiful. Now, because this is the front thigh to the knee joint, with the knees, I like to do a little pinch around the knees just to get the circulation flowing. You know, nice and gentle though, nothing, you know, to hurt that particular area, okay? Or you may want to just kind of knead it. You know, take your thumbs and just knead them into there. So again, you feel that you're getting everything flowing there. Okay, now the other quadricep movement again would be the chair pose, or Utkatasana. It has many, that chair pose is very good again, because if we come up again, we're using and engaging the quadriceps. You want to get the belly engaged, breathe, and you want to tighten the core. Beautiful. And this again, we could breathe and we can hold and then come back down. And because running a little bit late, I'm looking, I'm only going to do that once to show you, okay, that chair pose for the strength of the quadriceps, but I'm sure you feel it. And of course, if you're on level 1 and you're doing this, you can still feel it, okay? You can engage it. And instead, you can even use your blocks. So this also is another way to enhance or to strengthen the muscles in the thigh, keeping them separate, okay? And again, you can tighten and raise it up and just tighten the muscles. So there's so many ways to engage the quadriceps, front knee to thigh, very important. This again is important for standing and balancing. Now, another one is we can use now our ThermaBand for that. And I'm going to go into the next one. It's called the soleus. The soleus muscle group is the heel, and it's the stability of the ankle. But we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to use the ThermaBand for this, and I'm going to put it down towards the ankles. And now you want to just push out and in. Now, I was informed that the number one area of the body that gets fractured is the ankle. More people have a problem with their ankles being fractured or dislocated. So we want to strengthen the soleus. So we could use our ThermaBand for this. Another thing is it stabilizes the ankle. So the next movement we're going to do for stabilization will be, you're going to take the block, and again, you're going to come to the edge of the chair. Again, safety's number one, and you're going to flex. So you're going to raise the heel off the block and then raise the toes. So it's heel, toes. Again, you can feel the movement of the ankle and the whole front of the foot. This is the soleus. This again has to do with stability, ability to walk. Okay? And now the other side for the soleus. Now the next large muscle group after the soleus, and you're going to see that they're interconnected, is called the gastrocnemius. It assists with the ankle and the knee flexion. And one example is tipping toeing. This is what we would do. But again, the soleus and the gastrocnemius or gastrocnemius makes up what we call the triceps surae, which controls our balance and also can help us if we need to walk, to jump, even though, I do a little jump during the day, like maybe 2 inches off the ground just to get my whole body kind of moving or shaking out. But I don't do what I used to do, like jump rope. Some of you maybe jump rope, etc. So that's what this is for, the triceps surae, and it utilizes both the soleus and the gastrocnemius. And another movement for that is the same thing. It's taking the block, or you could be at a stairs, for example, or an incline. And again, you're going to raise and lower, raise and lower, raise and lower. So that's the 6 muscle groups that support balance and help to decrease the risk of falls. So again, just a review, we have the neck extensor, we have the back extensor, and the hip extensors. And then we just went through the soleus and the gastrocnemius, and those are all in the back body. The only muscle group that's in the front body is the quadriceps. All right. Now, we're running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to ask you to get your blankets. We'll do a 2-minute relaxation. So grab your blanket, and I invite you to relax. So you want to sit back on your chair and relax. And just shake out your shoulders, maybe make circles with the shoulders, and just move a little bit back and forth so you can loosen up the body. And place your hands comfortably on your lap, or you could place them on your heart center. or one on your belly and one on the heart. And close your eyes and connect with that beautiful gift of your breath. Begin to just relax, feeling the extension or the expansion of the chest, and then on the exhalation, the contraction of the chest. And as you sink deeper into the relaxation, put a smile on your face in gratitude that you gave yourself this gift this evening. And let's come back to our intention, which was, I will be mindful of my strength and balance. I will be mindful of strength and balance. And one last one, I will be mindful of my strength and balance. And now open your eyes and come back and look around. Bring your awareness back to your room. And thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed this session and realize the importance of our balance, our ability to have strong muscles so we can go through our functional movements each day and learn how to fall if we were going to fall. But what we're doing also is preventing falls. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week and a wonderful evening. And signing off. Bye-bye.